Hi, readers. It's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, or welcome if this is your first time. But for those of you who know me fairly well, and those of you who don't, I'm going to just either make a confession or declare something that I've likely declared before. I am about to travel out of town for just a few days. I leave Sunday, I return Wednesday. So it's not a long trip. It is my annual Lights of Hope and Leadership Summit for the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. So we'll be meeting with our senators and congressmen and talking about cancer and funding for said cancer research and treatment. And I have a today, so bear with me. I do this almost every year and I enjoy doing it. And it is also a bit of a flight because usually there's a connecting and I read well on a flight. So that is a plus in my column. The negative in my column is that I almost always overpack. And I usually don't overpack toiletries or clothing, but I overpack books almost every time. It's especially bad when I'm not flying because I have a lot more room to stuff books in. And I do this because I have this irrational fear that I'm going to run out of something to read that I'm going to enjoy. It's very, very irrational. And I feel like it's a problem. Like I feel like I need to challenge myself to be different in some way because it is such a problem. So today I was reading at lunch my ebook that I'm currently reading, which is actually The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. And I'm reading a physical copy and I have an audio version of The Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn. So those are the two books that I'm giving most of my attention to at the moment. I don't know how I'm feeling about The Diamond Eye so far. I'm reading it for a book club at the end of the month. And to be quite honest with you, I'm steadily reading it a little bit every day, but not making a lot of progress, finding myself a little bit slumpy in it. First, I thought I could either take the physical copy of The Diamond Eye or I could take the Thursday Murder Club physical copy, but I couldn't take both. But then I realized there is really no need for me to take a physical copy of any book. It takes up weight in my suitcase or my carry-on. Most of the time, the carry-on. I often have a carry-on that is way heavier for me than it needs to be, and I struggle with that. And I have a Kindle. I have a Kindle that is filled, stacked with books that I could read. So my challenge to myself is, can I manage with just my Kindle? Can I take just my Kindle and then whatever I need to access on audio on my phone, should I choose to do that, right? Because I have Libro, I have Audible books. I actually recently found an Audible account that I had and I hadn't looked at it in a while. And I was like, I didn't even remember that I had that. Audible was not one of the things that I listed in my Bujo, my bookish bullet journal, when I first created it. I looked at Libro.fm and I looked at my Kindle and I looked at my Nook, but I did not look at my Audible accounts, and I have two of them. Yes. Am I feeling overwhelmed again already? Yes. Yes, I am. So the question is, can I leave this house and get on a flight and not bring a physical book? Also, can I do this without buying a book physically while I'm there? Because that's the second issue. When I go to DC, there are a few bookstores that I really love to go to. So last year when I went to DC, I met up with my friend Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and her husband, and we had dinner. And then we went to one of my favorite bookstores there, which is Kramer Books. And afterwards, they actually sell food too and wine, and it's just a great little place. And I ended up picking up two books, which I then had to bring home, in addition to the books I had physically brought with me, which I think there were two of. So I had a lot of books in my suitcase last year, and I remember that now. And I don't remember it fondly, except for the fact that I really like the books that I picked up, one of which I haven't read yet is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. So hello, that's a possibility if I could find it like on Everand. It would be kind of a full circle moment, right? A year later. Also, Everyone Here is Lying by Sherry Lapina. I actually finished that. I think I started reading it on the plane on the way home. So, so this year I want to be very intentional and I want to only bring my Kindle. That's it. And my phone. And that's it. That is really what I would like. And I would like not to go to Kramer Books and Afterwards, even though that's going to be very, very hard for me. Let me just take that in. Or if I do go, I just have a glass of wine with a friend and I don't buy anything. It's possible for me to do it, right? I did this for 3 months. So here's what's on my Kindle that I am thinking about in addition to what I'm currently reading, right? So earlier today, I am just like super thankful and grateful for Jerry Bravo, who is a person who commented on my book about the books that I wanted to read and that I hauled in the month of August. And Jerry said, that Sandwich is available now on Kindle Unlimited, because my challenge, if you haven't seen that video, is that I kept borrowing Sandwich from my library and it kept going back because I wasn't getting to it in time and I was really frustrated with myself and I really would like to read that book. So Kindle Unlimited allows you to have it for a long, long time. And so I have that. I also recently got a love song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams on Kindle Unlimited because I loved the 7 Days in June novel that I read by Tia Williams, and I thought if I wanted a romance, this one might be a good one for me to get. I have started Never Far From Home by Bruce Jackson and have not finished it. I also have This Girl's a Killer, which I talked about in my haul, which is a book that I need to read for NetGalley to give a review on. I have The Next Louise Penny on Kindle Unlimited. If I wanted to pick that up, I could certainly do that. The Last Train to Key West by Chanel Clayton, which I just talked about as well. Is that a summer book? Yes, more likely, mostly summer, but also I could read it. I have a Kate Morton. I have The Lake House that I think I purchased a long time ago. I also have Day, which is a novel by Michael Cunningham, which is really, really quick. That would be a good one for shorty September. And I would then be able to give some feedback on NetGalley for that. Touch Not the Cat by Mary Stewart would be fun. It would remind me of my sister's favorite author, Mary Stewart, and how much I probably miss her because I haven't read anything by her in a while. So that's a possibility. What else do I want to read? What else is just kind of calling me forward? Murder at Mallowan Hall by Colleen Cambridge is kind of a Agatha Christie-esque book, which has, I think, Agatha as a character in it, as I remember, maybe. Snowblind by Ragnar Jonasson, I have had for a while. That's not necessarily a fall book. Let me see if I can find a spooky one. Oh, there's The Scent Keeper by Erica Bauermeister, also from Kindle Unlimited. Spooky, horror-y. What do I have? I'm trying to find something from almost every genre. Kill Creek is on my Audible audio. That is a spooky one. That is horror. Is Karamora horror by Thomas Harris? Maybe. I have Killer Clown, which is the anniversary edition on Kindle of the John Wayne Gacy murders. That's pretty horrific, but that would be another nonfiction. I have several NetGalleys that I haven't read. The Dark Heart, A True Story of Greed, Murder, and an Unlikely Investigator by Joachim Palmquist. It's funny, I'm looking at this. I read I'll Be Your Blue Sky on a flight to DC or on a flight to somewhere. I read The Turn of the Key on the flight. Clearly, I've taken my Kindle or my iPad before. The Gray House, that one looks pretty creepy. I could start Game of Thrones book 1 if I want to spend a lot of time reading that. I could read The Devil's Punch Bowl. I think that's book 3 in the Greg Isles Pen Cage series. If that's not true, I apologize, but I think it is. I could read a P.D. James, A Certain Justice. That appeals to me as well. And let's look for one more. I've read The Stand. No, I didn't finish The Stand. I read Salem's Lot, but I didn't finish The Stand by Stephen King. So I could also read that. So clearly, there is no shortage of books for me to read on this flight. Still kind of in a bit of a reading slump, to be honest. I'm not quite out of it yet. I'm better, but I'm not quite where I want to be. And this last week with the storm, this hurricane nonsense was quite a thing. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to vlog while I'm there. I may do a separate vlog just about the reading. We shall see. But I am going to vlog while I'm in DC because it's a beautiful place and I've never done that before. But I have taken some pictures and things before too. So I plan to do some vlogging while I'm gone. I will share with you what I read, obviously, in some form or fashion. And I will commit to trying to bring just my Kindle, just me and Umbridge. Just us. Small carry-on, maybe even just a purse. Can you imagine? Just me and Dolores. We're good. All right. Thanks for watching. Let me know what's on your Kindle. Let me know how you pack when you go on to trips and what books you bring and how you how you feel about that. And as always, happy reading. Bye.